So one of the first things we do is we look for rough cut lumber at the local hardware store. We mainly try to find wind fallen and storm brought down trees. So we'll bring wood in like this, we'll run it through the planer and get it all processed down, so then we can get everything laid out into strips. And then basically what we go from here on with the strips is you can get creative on your design. So if you want to do something out of sapel, just bring all your sapel over. And you might want to add a little bit of color, so you can bring some purple heart, some maple in, space it on two, and then maybe you want to put another larger purple heart, and a piece of sapel. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the size of a board you want to make. And then the process after that would be glue up. So basically you would just grab this, make sure your joints are all nice and tight. Just for speed, I'll show you, here's one that's been made out of sapel, walnut, and yellow heart with another piece of walnut here. And this has been glued and clamped, and this is dry. So this comes out of the clamp, and now you're ready for the planer. So that's that process. And then next we would bring this over to the planer. Process next here is we're going to run this through the planers. We've got our wood, it's came out, it's dried overnight, it's done with the food safe wood glue. It's all ready to go through the planer. So we'll fire it up and then you'll be able to see what it looks like here and what it looks like when it comes through the other end. Next process is taking the edges through the jointer, so we'll do that next. So that's all nice and square, and then now we'll hit the chop saw, get rid of all these rough edges and all the bits that are sticking out. And we want these all to be 18 inches. So we'll hit the chop saw. Got the stop set at 18 inches. And then now we finish off the other half. Now you've got a perfect square piece of lumber that's almost ready to go. Next will be through the drum sander. And then the next step we do, once it came through the planer, is we do a few passes through the drum sander just to take a nice sanding. There's about a 120 grit sandpaper in there. Again, we'll do that. That's really all that needs, just a couple passes on each side once it comes through the planer. So basically this piece of wood now is ready for routering. So we'll go over to the router. So one side we're just going to round off the edges. That's basically, this is the side that most people treat as your cutting board side with the rounded edges. This edge we leave sharp and crisp, that way if people want to use it as a charcuterie board you can get kind of two purposes out of it. So I'll run it through the router here. nice rounded edges. That's it. Now we'll go over to hand sanding. Okay, this is the next step. This is where you start to really put the finishing touch on the board and bring out the color and the grain. Is you've got quite a selection of sanders out there, so any type of real fine finishing, I really like this Mirka. It's just very comfortable. It's quick for your speeds, and it's a very nice sander. Very similar in sanders if you want to get into the Festool. Another great palm sander, very comfortable as well. More of a dial for your speeds, but this is another fantastic sander. If you're getting into any really big jobs, not considering what would be used for what we're doing here right now, is the Rotex 150. This is a really good sander, but this is more for real big jobs, rough cut, deep cutting. Let's see, direct drive sander, also oscillating rotary, so this is a very good sander as well. Lots of uses. And this little guy, I mainly use this for charcuterie boards. Main purpose for that, I'll show you, is if you get a piece of spalted maple here, all these little edges, I use this just to clean up, make this all look nice. Works perfect for getting in here. And then after you've done with the little guy, you can come in with the bigger Mirkas. Another little trick for doing charcuterie boards too is, if this is really rough and really jagged, a lot of bark, is I'll hit it with the Festool grinder with just a small little disc. What's nice about this is it's cordless and it's variable speed, so you can have it right down perfectly low for doing your edges. It just comes off nice. And that's all you really have to hit it, is that much. And then if you bring this little sander in, or even the Mirka, I can just show you with the Mirka quickly. This will just be a little piece of 220, and you'll see the difference, how quick this will work. How nice you can make edges look. That's that. And I wouldn't take much more off than that. That just gives the real nice character of the boards. So basically, just in a few seconds, it goes from that to looking like that. And this is a piece of spalted maple. What's that? There's a nice spalting in that. Another process in here now is everybody usually freaks out about how am I supposed to sand? How do I sand? Planer brings it out pretty finished. I hit it over there on the drum sander with the 120 grit. And then basically I'll start getting into other grits. So basically I start from 40 right up to 600 grit sandpaper. So after 120 here, I will jump into 150, 180, 220, and then I usually finish in 240. And that's about as far as I go on these cutting boards. It's don't want to go any finer than that. I want to make sure the oil and wax mixture really soaks in. So I usually only finish to about 220 on the charcuterie and the cutting boards. But if you get anything after that, fine furniture or anything, then you start getting up to 500, 600, even 1,000 grit. So basically that's how the sandpapers work. And the trick to sandpaper is just don't push hard. Just basically just hold the sand. You can almost just turn it on, hold the sander, and let it just... Another trick to sand too, I do all the time, is I'll just grab a pencil and I'll just do something like this. I'll put on a piece of, let's get a piece of 150 here. That's the next pass. And you'll see how quickly it comes off. that's it. That's there. You're already at 150 grit. Then you can just basically pencil again. Step up to 180. Now it's 150. 180. Next grit. So it's very quick to sand, and then basically you'd hit now 220, 240, and that's it for finishing. So there's basically your sanding. And these edges here, you just do it by hand. Pour off the side of the table. Just give it a light little thing. Take the corners, the burrs off. That's it. And there you have it. Food grade mineral oil. Once everything's already sanded, you've got your food grade mineral oil. You've got your raw wood. So what we have here is maple, wenge, purple heart, and padauk. There's our three colors. And then you'll see we'll hit it with the oil. This is where you see everything just come to life. These are all edge grain boards, so I hit this oil pretty heavy on these. So that's all. There's your first coat. That one will sit and dry. Throw a spacer in. And then we'll just show you the difference. Now you've got a piece of black walnut. So we've got black walnut, maple, purple heart, sapel, and bloodwood. And then you'll see the difference in how this walnut turns out. There you go. And there's how that looks. And once that's dry, we'll hit it with paper towel. And this is a mixture of same thing, food grade mineral oil along with local beeswax. We'll spread that on the board, and that'll seal everything off, seal all the edges, and make it food safe. And then we usually do 2 coats of beeswax. And there you have it. There's kind of the process for making a cutting board.